Hello ReZero fans! Welcome back to another video on the channel. Judging by the title of this video, I'm pretty sure we all know what today's discussion is going to be about. Yes, ReZero Season 3 Episode 11 has dropped. I'm recording this today, but this might be out tomorrow. All edited, all done, completed, out tomorrow, but I'm recording this today. I have just pretty much finished watching the episode, and damn, that shit was beautiful to watch. The episode starts off with what seems to be a Liliana backstory episode. We see Liliana, who at this time seems to be a young child. The group she's in seems to be a group of bards who travel to towns and sing their songs. We get to see Liliana's mother, who also seems to be a bard, and so is her father. So it's cool to see Liliana as kind of grown up to, like, we all know she's a famous songstress, so it's kind of nice to see, like, that pretty much nearly her whole life she's just been, I guess, living the life of singing songs. You know, she's been around that type of theme. She's always been around music, songs, etc. At this young age, Liliana seems to have more ambitions and dreams outside of being restricted within this group of bards that travels from town to town. We get glimpses of this where she seems to be happy at the sight of this rather large city, which I pretty much think is the City of Water. I'm not quite sure. However, her mother and father explained to her that they don't perform in big cities and like sticking to the usual routine of travelling to smaller towns and villages and making a living there. However, this doesn't sit right with Liliana's nature to want to make a name for herself and sing songs anywhere and everywhere. So watching this part of the episode, I can kind of tell, like, you know, she's part of this group of bards. They like to travel from town to town. They don't do it in the big cities. However, of course, Liliana, she doesn't want to be restricted. She wants to grow up to be a songstress, and therefore, you know, having this restriction kind of restricts those kind of dreams and ambitions. So she just wants to get out there. She wants to kind of live up to her own expectations and, you know, become the songstress that we know her to be today. The scene switches to the battle between Priscilla and Sirius. We see that the attack on Priscilla on the last episode's final seconds left her unscathed, as we get introduced to another one of Priscilla's abilities. It seems that whatever damage she takes, an item that Priscilla deems valuable and precious ends up taking the damage for her. So in this scene, when she got hit, she didn't take any damage because a part of her necklace kind of just broke and shattered, meaning it took the damage for her, which is kind of an interesting ability, I can't lie. Sirius begins crashing out at the fact that Priscilla and Liliana aren't affected by her authority of wrath, and that the fact Liliana's singing is basically the cure of wrath's effects on the civilians under her control. Priscilla gets rid of the flames embodying one of the towers and replaces it with her own, as she keeps Sirius busy and occupied while Liliana rushes to the top of the tower to begin singing her song. So pretty much she's getting on top of the tower. She's about to sing one of her songs that are going to bring back people's, I guess, consciousness, because they're under the authority of wrath. And the authority of wrath is basically control, kind of like a shared conscience. They're all controlled. And we've come to realise that one of the things that will negate this effect is Liliana's singing. So this is pretty much what it's setting up. The scene transitions back to Liliana's past as we see life after leaving her parents hasn't treated her so nicely. We see that her songs aren't picking up much positive attention. In fact, it's quite the opposite. She's been living off bad food, which has made her quite ill to the point of dehydration and passing out. She seems to be quite a bit older now, and if the starvation and lack of popularity wasn't enough, goddamn, she's been replaced. So while she's been off trying to make a name for herself, her parents have done the deed yet again, creating another mini Liliana. When she's at her lowest and begins questioning what it means to even be a bard / songstress, a sight revives the light in her eyes, a sight of the sunshine casting down on a small field of flowers near a lake. This is the moment where her very own song comes into her head, which seems to be the birth of her divine blessing. Now that this song has come into fruition, her popularity in town has kind of become much bigger. The civilians that used to look at her when she used to sing her old songs weren't like, they were kind of giving her the cold stares, like, this shit is not good, stop singing. But now she's got this new song, her popularity has definitely grew. Everyone stopped giving her the cold stares. now they're looking at her with admiration and captivity. So popularity started to grow. This is how she met Kiritaka, who fell in love with Liliana and her singing and devoted his support to her. Back to the present, Liliana begins singing to the townspeople, helping them recover from the authority of wrath. As Priscilla dies? Psych! That new ability comes in clutch again as the item holding her air up takes the damage, and we are left with a beautiful, gorgeous side of Priscilla and her hair down. Goddamn. Sirius brings out of the Shadow Realm Tina, who we haven't seen since episode 2. Was literally wondering what Sirius did to this poor girl this entire time. However, Priscilla, being the badass she is, does not give a fuck about hostages, as with one slice of her sword, she cuts the chains freeing Tina and slices a chunk out of Sirius. Badass if I do say so myself. It seems another one of Priscilla's abilities is her sword cuts whatever Priscilla wants it to cut and doesn't cut anything she doesn't want to cut. That's a lot of cuts. Pretty much her sword, it only slices things that she kind of wants to slice. So as we can see here, Sirius has Tina, she's in chains. Sirius is trying to use Tina as a hostage yet again. However, Priscilla slices Sirius with the sword instead, cutting through just Sirius and just the chains. So Tina's saved. The chains are now cut free in her, and Sirius takes a slash. So pretty much this is kind of pretty much an OP ability, I can't lie. I dead-ass thought homeboy Kiritaka was dead when this scene was shown, but no, he's alive. And with that, Priscilla has defeated Sirius, the Sin Archbishop of Wrath, and Liliana has saved the citizens with her song. The ending theme plays, but the episode isn't quite over. We go back to the altercation between Subaru and Regulus, as Subaru seems to have came to a new revolution. The Sin Archbishops are all named after stars, however it seems their authorities are connected to the origins of those star names. Petagul's name comes from the hand of Aljauza, hopefully I said that correctly, I am not sure, aka the Unseen Hand. So we pretty much, if you've watched season 1 or 2, just season 1 actually, we know Petagul's authority was the Unseen Hand, and pretty much what the Unseen Hand is, just giving a bit of backstory for people who either forgot or are here for some unknown reason if they haven't watched season 1 or 2. Pretty much the Unseen Hand is an invisible hand. Subaru has this ability. He can only create one Unseen Hand, aka Invisible Providence, which he renamed it to. But Petagul, he could summon a bunch of invisible hands. No one else could see them except for Subaru. And with these hands, he could pretty much just kill people. They couldn't say or do anything against him, pretty much. So yeah, it was a pretty scary ability to have. But yeah, that's Petagul's authority. We now go on to Regulus's authority. So he is part of the Leo constellation. The name Little King came from Corleonis, aka Lion's Heart. So Regulus's ability isn't invincibility. It's actually the power to stop time. Pretty much, etc. Stop time for his own body. This means that he doesn't age. So season 2, this is when we first got introduced to Regulus. Everyone was pretty like, there was an event when Amelia was doing the trial, and she went back to the past, the far past. Regulus was there, and bro did not look any different than he does in the present. So that pretty much describes his authority. He's pretty much survived this entire time by not aging, and that's because he stopped his body in time. So bro does not age. His body doesn't get hurt. Hypothetically, he was set ablaze for about episode 1 when he was set on fire. Actually, it wasn't episode 1, it was episode 2. In episode 2, when he was set on fire by Sirius's flames, he wasn't affected by it, and that's because pretty much his body stopped in time. So set of fire, he doesn't feel effects. Water doesn't get soaked. Pretty much this explains his invincibility. In a sense, it's not really invincibility. He just can't be affected by anything because his body really isn't in the flow of time. While Subaru distracts Regulus, Amelia rushes off to save Regulus's wives from his quote-unquote little kingdom, where Subaru believes the number of wives Regulus has, or his distance from his wives, might hold some significance to Regulus stopping time on his body. And maybe getting his wives out of the little kingdom might unpause this time stop, as the episode ends there. So pretty much, Even though it was mainly a backstory episode, a lot of stuff has kind of went down. So we believe Sirius has drowned, but you know, these sin archbishops, they usually like to just come back to life. So well, when we thought Pelgus was first dead, bro came back, started chasing Subaru as like this big abomination. You can see he's on one. So I'm pretty sure Sirius might not be dead, but by the looks of it, at the end of this episode, Sirius has drowned. The citizens are saved by Liliana's song, no longer under the control of Wrath. Obviously we got a lot, we got to understand Liliana a bit more with her backstory. Subaru pretty much has literally calls out Regulus on his authority. I'm pretty sure it's been 100 years since anyone's figured out Regulus's ability. And Subaru has just done it like that. In one loop, might I say, bro hasn't returned by death, no nothing. He hasn't died, figured out this information and done it in a different loop. Bro did this all in one loop. Aura is immense. But yes, Subaru has a better understanding there. Pretty much figured out his Regulus's authority. It is Lion's art. And pretty much, I guess the new idea is hopefully Emilia can save the wives, take them out of Regulus's little castle type of thing, aka the little kingdom. But I'm pretty much, I think they're hoping that this has some significance to like Regulus's time stop. So Subaru kind of believes that maybe he has something to do with his wives, you know, like Regulus has a lot of wives, and pretty much this might have some significance to Regulus's ability, why he needs to have this many wives. The location, why they can never leave, that might have some significance. I'm pretty sure the longer they're in that castle, I guess it kind of extends the time he can unpause his keep his body paused. Pretty sure. I don't know if I figured that out on my own, but maybe not. We'll have to see next week's episode. But you know, shit's gone down. Shit has gone down, and might I just say, Regulus has not been the only one doing getting his fucking wives' numbers up. Priscilla, 7 husbands. God damn, can I be one of them? But alas, joking aside, each episode yet again, even though much didn't happen, a backstory episode has always been nice. You know, it was nice to see this kind of backstory and the animation overall. But alas, I'll stop waffling. Today has been a good day for me. I'm gonna go to bed happy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the episode too. And I'll see you all in the next video. Not sure what that will be, but see you all nonetheless. Peace out. Bye-bye.